So, let's unpack a scenario that I think anyone working in professional AV
Oh, yeah,
knows.
the dreaded rack clutter.
Exactly. You are staring at a rack, and it is just a disaster zone. You've got cables spaghettiing everywhere, power bricks fighting for space. It is really the enemy of a clean install.
It absolutely is. And usually the solution involves buying bigger, more expensive racks or just accepting the chaos. But today we are looking at a piece of hardware from Just Add Power that goes incredibly dense to fix this.
Right. So we are doing a deep dive into the VBS HDIP-747POE 3G 4K transmitter, which is a bit of a mouthful of a model number.
It is a mouthful, yeah. But the mission here is really straightforward. This isn't just one transmitter we are talking about. It is all about consolidation.
Because the notes say it basically crams 4 transmitters into a single 1U rack size enclosure.
Exactly. Think about a standard sports bar or a corporate install where you need 4 separate sources onto the network. This 747 PoE essentially combines 4 of their standard 707 PoE units into a single chassis.
So instead of 4 little boxes sliding around on a shelf, you've just got one clean unit screwed in. That definitely cleans up the rack trim. But I always get skeptical about heat soak when you pack electronics into a tight 1U space.
Oh, you're absolutely right to worry about that because heat is usually the density killer. But the thermal management here is actually one of these standout engineering features. They designed it with very quiet front-facing fans.
Oh, front-facing. So the airflow doesn't require you to leave those annoying air gaps.
Right, you don't need them. You can literally stack these directly on top of each other.
Wait, stack them directly. Usually that is a cardinal sin in rack design.
In this case, you can break the rule. You can maximize your rack units completely. And to make things even cleaner, let's talk about power. You aren't stuck juggling 4 massive power bricks.
Which is great. Does it just use a standard plug?
It can run off a single 110D power plug, and here's the cool part. You can install that plug on either the front or the back of the unit.
Oh, wow. That sounds minor, but when you're actually wiring a rack, having that option saves you a massive headache.
Totally. Or you can skip the plug entirely and just use power over Ethernet. It uses the standard 802.AF-PoE.
That is huge for keeping the back of the rack tidy, so physically it is a winner. But let's look at the specs. I see it supports HDCP 2.2 and 4K 30 4.4 with HDR. Is 30 frames a handicap?
For an esports tournament, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But for distributed video or digital signage, which is what Just Add Power is built for 30 Hz, is the sweet spot.
Right, and the 4.4.4 color space keeps text from looking fuzzy if you are displaying PC content.
Exactly. It keeps the edges sharp. Plus, it handles all lossless audio formats, specifically Dolby Atmos.
Okay, clean audio and sharp text are non-negotiable.
Right.
Now, looking at the hardware details, it has 4 HDMI inputs, and they feature locking thread screws.
Yes, locking thread screws. I can't tell you how many hours of my life I have lost to service calls where the only issue was a heavy HDMI cable sagging out of the port.
I know that feeling so well. You drove all the way out there just to push a cable back in.
The 747 PoE has locking screws on all 4 inputs to prevent exactly that. It also has 4 RS-232 ports that use 3.5mm plugs for two-way control.
Nice professional touch. And there is an Ethernet loop out listed. Is that simple pass-through?
It is more strategic.
Yep.
It allows you to daisy-chain the network connection so you can provide video to more receivers or basic internet to a networking device.
Oh, I see. So you don't need to burn an extra port on your network switch.
Exactly. It effectively expands your port count without expanding your switch chassis. And it still gives you that instant seamless switching Just Add Power is famous for.
That is a detail that definitely doesn't show up on a standard spec sheet. Now, we have covered the tech, and it sounds premium, but finding a price for this thing online is a bit of a treasure hunt. What is going on there?
Just Add Power has a very strict policy. They prohibit authorized dealers like HDTV Supply, where we pulled these specs from showing prices online. You actually had to call for a quote.
That feels a bit old school in the age of adding things to a cart.
But it is for protection. If you buy from an unauthorized source, Just Add Power will not honor the 3-year warranty.
Oof. So you save 5 minutes not making a phone call, but you risk being left with a very expensive paperweight.
Precisely. You have to make that call to ensure you are covered.
So what does this all mean for us? We are seeing devices shrinking 4 units into one, becoming denser and more efficient.
It is a massive trend toward total integration.
Right. With devices becoming this dense and efficient, are we moving toward a future where massive server rooms shrink into single cabinets? And what does that actually mean for thermal management on a much larger scale?
That is the big question as the line between pure IT and AV gets blurrier every single day.
Something for you to think about next time you are punching down cables. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.